World leaders have gathered in New York for the UN General Assembly, but many key meetings are taking place on the sidelines of the session, some of which will have an immediate ripple effect on geopolitics. In a rare sight, the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken shook hands with the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. In a closed-door event, the two leaders sat down to discuss polarizing issues. Tensions around Taiwan remained the focus throughout the 90-minute conversation, and Beijing accused Washington of sending very wrong and dangerous signals. Wang Yi said, and I quote, "The Taiwan issue is an internal Chinese matter and the United States has no right to interfere in what method will be used to resolve it." While Blinken maintained that the security of the Taiwan Strait is of utmost priority, after the meeting, a senior official added, and I quote again, "The Secretary made crystal clear that in accordance with the US's long-standing One China policy, the maintenance of peace and stability across the strait is absolutely important." However, both leaders agreed on one thing, that an open line of communication is the only way to reach a consensus. Tensions over Taiwan have soared this year. Since becoming president, Joe Biden has twice hinted at sending military assistance in case China decides to invade. Last month, the countries exchanged fiery words as Nancy Pelosi made a statement by visiting Taiwan. It's not just the US that is making its stance glaringly clear at this point. China has also intensified its military drills around the strait. Right after Pelosi's visit, Beijing concluded close to 1 week of military exercises. Some of the drills even saw aircraft fly across Taiwan's airspace. Ties between the US and China have been touching a low point with every presidency. Experts have warned that tensions over Taiwan are currently at their highest level in what is now being called one of the worst flare-ups. And there is another one in the making, it seems. Differences with Washington are uniting Beijing and Moscow. Both currently enjoy the best relations in their history. Xi Jinping has already supported Vladimir Putin's war in Ukraine, and if there is a Taiwan invasion in the future, Beijing will surely look towards Moscow for a similar support. And for more analysis, we earlier spoke to Ross Darrell Feingold from Taipei, Taiwan, who is an Asia political risk analyst. Listen in.
Well, it comes amid obvious tensions between the United States and China over U.S. policy towards Taiwan. A lot of those initiatives do come from the Congress. They don't come from the executive branch, such as Nancy Pelosi's visit here to Taipei at the beginning of August, or some legislation that is pending in Congress that calls for the U.S. to provide more military equipment to Taiwan, for example. But of course, there was also Biden's remark on American television last weekend that the U.S. would send troops to defend Taiwan. And all of this makes China quite angry. And then the United States says, oh, but actually our policy hasn't changed. And then the two foreign ministers meet. And what I find really interesting is the comments afterwards from American officials who seem to be really desperately trying to say that, oh, well, it was frank, but it was also constructive. So it seems that the United States, at least the Biden foreign policy team, they're eager to meet with China, and then they still want to put a positive spin on the meetings.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.